Want to keep protein in your diet but don't want to keep adding meat? Let's find out an option in this edition of WJTS in.form. I'm Bill Potter, your host. Joining me in the studio is Jan Dougan. Jan, we're going to talk about another option for adding protein to your diet that's not meat-based.
That's right. So when we think about protein, we get protein from meat sources and from plant sources. And those meat sources, of course, are beef and pork and chicken and turkey and lamb. We also get from seafood that we eat. But from the plant sources, we can get protein from beans and nuts and seeds. So
I wouldn't say, I think we've talked about that before, but that still is a hard concept for me. You know, I'm the old meat and potatoes kind of guy.
And I think traditionally, most of us here in the county feel that way. That's how we were raised. That's part of our culture. That's what we feel comfortable with. You know, but when we think about varying our protein, we might want to think about at least one time a week. So that's a really small change, just one time a week. Think about getting your protein from a plant source rather than a meat source. And we want to share with everybody viewing today a great recipe from our Kitchen Clips collection at Purdue Extension about black beans and rice salad.
Okay, let's watch that video now and then we'll come back and talk some more. This is the black bean and rice salad kitchen clip from Purdue Extension.
We're going to be making a black bean and rice salad. This is a great recipe for summertime because it's served cold. What I love about this recipe is that it's packed full of protein and fiber, the vegetables give it a great color and crunch, and it's super easy to make. So let's get started. So first I'm going to add 1 can of black beans. These have been rinsed and drained. And when you're at the grocery store shopping, look for the low sodium or the no sodium black beans to make this more heart healthy. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of cooked and cooled brown rice. You can also use white rice if you prefer. Next, I have a ½ a cup of chopped onion. This is white onion, and you can also use red onion. And finally, I have a ½ a cup of diced peppers. These are green and red peppers, but you can use whatever color your family prefers. So we're just going to give this a good mix here. And then we'll set this aside while we make our dressing. So for the next step to make your dressing, you're going to want to find a container that has a tight-fitting lid, like the one I have here. To make the dressing, we're going to put in a ¼ cup of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 clove of minced garlic, and if you don't have garlic, that's okay. You can also substitute that for a ½ a teaspoon of garlic powder. Next, you'll add a ½ teaspoon of salt, a ½ teaspoon of ground mustard, and a ¼ teaspoon of pepper. I'm just going to give that a quick swirl with my spoon here. And I'm going to just put the lid on my container on and give it a good shake to blend everything together. So next we're going to add our dressing to our salad. So we're just going to pour it on there. And give it a good stir. Now you're going to want to refrigerate this for at least an hour before serving it. It really gives time for all the flavors to blend together. So this black bean and rice salad can be served as a side dish or as a main dish. Here we've paired it with tortilla chips and avocado. Together, this makes a great heart-healthy option.
It's interesting to see this video with black beans because, Jan, I was not a black bean guy. And I don't even know if I've ever eaten black beans on purpose. until you and I did a show, I don't know, it might have been a year or 2 years ago, about putting black beans on different things or doing things with beans. And it's really a great way to go now. But I don't think about not putting meat in there, but now I can do that.
Yeah, you can use the black beans as a protein source. And in this particular recipe that was demonstrated on the kitchen clip, Peg used canned black beans, which she rinsed prior to adding them to the salad. Oh no, this was Jackie Frank's. I'm sorry, that wasn't Peg. Peg did our rainbow salad earlier, but Jackie Frank's did the bean salad. And she rinsed those beans and had them ready to use. So you can always keep canned beans in your pantry to use. And black beans is a really common bean that we use to get more protein. We could use kidney beans, we could use navy beans, we could use black-eyed peas. There's all kinds of beans that are a good source of protein, but black beans seems to be a really popular choice right now. So keep those canned beans, just be sure that you rinse them before adding them to any of your dishes or any of your salads or using them in family meals.
Why would we need to rinse them? Are we losing some flavor?
We are not losing any flavor. We are reducing the sodium content of the bean. So, and we can reduce that sodium content up to 30–40% when we rinse them in cool running water. So you put the beans in a strainer, you rinse them with the cool running water, let them drain, and then you use them. So that's for canned beans. But you can also buy the dried beans, Bill, or you can keep the dried beans in your pantry and you can prepare dried beans. Takes a little bit more time. You know, we usually need to soak the beans before we cook them. But if you make a big pot of black beans, you can actually freeze those beans and then use them in family meals, in dishes later on.
I think maybe because we're starting to eat more Southwestern sorts of foods, that's maybe why the black beans are coming back.
I think it's a trend. I think it's a good trend in utilizing the black beans. And, you know, we even see people having them on omelets or on the side of omelets for breakfast in the morning or in a salad for lunch or in this bean and rice salad that was demonstrated in the kitchen clip. And as it was mentioned in the clip, this can be your meal. So, you know, in the summertime, when you want maybe just a little bit lighter meal or lunch, you could have the black bean rice salad for your meal, and then maybe have a piece of fruit with that. And there you go. You've got everything from my plate right there in that salad, and then with the piece of fruit on the side. Or you could use it as a side dish. So if you've got family coming over or for the family meal, it'd be a great complement to grilled meats or grilled fish or other things that you might want to prepare.
Okay. So I guess some of these items you probably already have in your pantry, but you might want to check. Rice is always a good thing. I mean, a lot of people have rice, but the black beans, keeping a couple of cans, and they last almost, it seems like, forever.
Right.
Obviously, check the expiration date on it.
Right. It's always good. Boy, I've got you reading those labels, don't I?
Yes, you do. Now, if you buy the dry, they last a whole lot longer, right? I mean,
well, I don't know. That's a difficult question to answer because, you know, most dried beans, there has a use by date on the package.
Okay.
Same with a canned product. Check the bottom of the can for the use by date. But you know, usually you have at least a year to use things that are in your pantry. But you know, if you do some meal planning, buy what you need, use what you bought, and then buy again, you're going to not waste foods and you're going to be happy with your meal planning.
So beans can add protein.
Yes.
And black beans is one way, and that recipe we watched shows that.
Yes.
But there's other beans that you can use.
Sure.
And something I think is interesting, hummus.
Yes.
Is made with beans.
Yes, it's made with chickpeas or garbanzo beans. It's the same bean, just has two different names.
And can I be my meal? Did I get all my protein
oh,
there?
yeah, that'd be a great. In fact, in a recent Dining with Diabetes program, one of the participants told us that that's their go-to lunch. So with fresh veggies, carrots sticks, celery sticks, and hummus as the main lunch.
All right, well, Jan, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Bill.
Now you've got a way to add protein to your diet without adding meat if you'd like, and that is the black bean and rice salad. It is a kitchen clip from Purdue Extension. Jan, thank you very much for coming in. Our guest has been Jan Dougan with Purdue Extension. I'm Bill Potter, thanking you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.